Dzień dobry! Welcome everyone to Polish Mama Cooks. Today I want to show you a recipe very close to my heart. Pork roast with caraway seeds and onion. I love this recipe because it's very simple to make. You don't need much to do, you just need an oven, and it's perfect for Easter. I remember my mom served it as a cold cut with some horseradish sauce. But today I would like to show you how to serve it as a main meal with a side dish of Brussels sprouts and some mushrooms. What you will need is pork loin. I have here about 3.5 pounds of pork loin. If it's gonna have too much fat, just make sure that you take it off. Onion, of course. I already peeled mine and cut into halves and then into quarters and then quarters into halves. I'm gonna use caraway seeds, salt, garlic, and fresh minced pepper. For my side dish, I'm gonna use Brussels sprouts. Here's about 3.5 cups of Brussels sprouts, peeled, washed, and cut into halves. And also I'm using baby Bella mushrooms. I cut the bigger ones into halves. Of course, I wash them and let them dry. I'm gonna use some salt and pepper and some sriracha oil. If you don't have sriracha oil, you can just use normal oil and then add a bit of cayenne pepper. I love this recipe because it's super simple to make. You just have to season and sear the meat and then put it in the oven for 350 Fahrenheit. I start with preheating some olive oil and I'm gonna season the pork loin with salt and pepper. Start to searing the moment the olive oil is hot. For a few minutes on one side, then flip it, and on the other side until it has a lovely brown color. So the meat is ready. What we're gonna do is add a bit more salt. Now, caraway seeds. What I like to do is just drizzle them. Next is the onion. Just put it around the meat and on top of it, wherever you feel like it. That just smells delicious. The meat, the caraway seeds, you can smell it all. To ensure that the meat stays tender and not dry out, pour some water into the frying pan where your meat was and then put it on top of your meat. Add some garlic and spread it all over the meat so it's everywhere it should be. And top it all up with some pepper. Meat is ready to go to the oven. Put it for 1.5 hours for 350 Fahrenheit. Just make sure that you check on the meat at least twice throughout the process of baking and add a bit of water from a kettle or from the frying pan. While the meat is baking, what you're gonna do is prepare the veggies. Take the Brussels sprouts that you already peeled and put them on a baking sheet and then add the mushrooms. What we will be doing with them is just putting them on high baking in the oven. Add salt and pepper. Sriracha oil. If you don't have it, you can just sprinkle out with cayenne pepper and add some olive oil. Just mix them well with your hands so all the flavors go in between all the mushrooms and Brussels sprouts. After 1.5 hours my meat is ready and I'm gonna take it out, preheat the oven for the Brussels sprouts and then put the Brussels sprouts in. In the meantime, I'm gonna let the meat rest. For this roast, I like my pork to be well done because I use it as cold cuts, but also my son eats it. So I let it sit for about 2-3 minutes in the baking dish that it was, and then transport it on a tray and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes to rest. So after 20 minutes, my Brussels sprouts and mushrooms will be ready. The mushrooms will let the juices out. The Brussels sprouts will be beautiful, brown, delicious. So now I'm gonna put the plate together. For the dinner, I like my pieces to be a bit thicker, but when I use them for a sandwich, very much thinner than this one. And then I add my Brussels sprouts. Doesn't that look delicious? Let me know what you think about my recipe. Please leave me some comment and give me thumbs up. Thank you for being with me today. You can join me on Facebook or on Instagram for more recipes from Polish Mama Cooks. Please subscribe. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye bye!